What if the next quarter you touch, the one sitting in a jar, a drawer or lost under a car seat, isn't worth 25 cents? But over 100,000? It sounds unbelievable, but it's real. Hidden among ordinary pocket change are rare. Washington quarters worth more than luxury cars, more than gold bars, and in some cases, more than a house. Today, we're uncovering those exact coins, the rare survivors that turned everyday money into history-making treasures. So stay with me, because after this video, you'll never look at a simple quarter the same way again. First up, the 1990p. Washington quarter dollar is a coin that looks ordinary to the untrained eye, yet it carries a story far richer than the metal it's made from. Minted in Philadelphia in the year 1990, this quarter belongs to the long-running Washington Quarter series that began in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. While millions of quarters were struck in 1990, only a microscopic fraction were produced with perfect precision, flawless surfaces, and exceptional strike quality. In everyday circulation, these coins blend into pockets, cash registers, and vending machine slots, never attracting attention. But when preserved in nearly perfect condition, especially those graded MS-68 or higher, they transform from pocket change into extraordinary American treasures. The Philadelphia Mint, marked by the small p mint mark, was known for high-volume commercial production. During this era, the Mint produced hundreds of millions of coins, prioritizing speed and distribution over perfection. Because of this, quarters from 1990 typically show bag marks, soft strikes, abrasions, or minor imperfections. That is why finding a 1990p quarter in unbelievably pristine condition is extremely rare. Collectors prize these coins not merely because of the date, but because they represent a moment when mass-produced circulating currency accidentally reached a level of craftsmanship nearly equal to proof strikes. The coin itself features a right-facing bust of George Washington on the obverse, designed by the great sculptor John Flanagan, who based it on Jean-Antoine Houdon's 1786 life mask portrait of Washington. Above the portrait reads the bold word Liberty, while below Washington's neckline sits the date 1990. To the left of Washington is the phrase, "In God We Trust," and just above the date, almost hidden in plain sight, appears the P mint mark, representing Philadelphia. Flip the coin over and you'll find a majestic bald eagle, centered proudly on the reverse. Its wings are spread with solemn authority, clutching bundled arrows symbolizing American strength and readiness, while below rests an olive wreath of peace. The inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and quarter dollars circle the design. This reverse artwork remained on the Washington quarter until 1998, after which statehood quarters began a new era of designs. What makes the 1990p quarter so valuable today isn't rarity from a mintage standpoint, but rarity in perfect condition. Most people overlook coins from this era, believing they are too modern to possess significant value. Yet the truth is, the high-grade survivors are astonishingly scarce. For collectors, the combination of eye appeal, untouched luster, razor-sharp detail, and flawlessness is what triggers bidding wars at auctions. In recent years, one example of the 1990p Washington quarter dollar in superb high-grade condition sold for an astonishing $67,400, a jaw-dropping result that shocked even seasoned numismatists. It stands as a reminder that even the most ordinary-looking modern coins can become historic treasures when preserved perfectly from the moment they leave the mint. Next up, the 1987p Washington quarter dollar tells another remarkable story, one not about rarity and mintage, but rarity and perfection. Struck in the year 1987 at the Philadelphia Mint, this coin also features the iconic Washington design created by John Flanagan. Much like the 1990 issue, the 1987p quarter belongs to the era before proof-like brilliance or enhanced striking. Quality was standard for circulation coins. Most examples from this year carry typical industrial wear marks, scratches, metal chatter, dense from bag movement, and soft or incomplete details. But a tiny number, only a few known, examples escaped these imperfections entirely. On the obverse, George Washington's portrait remains the central focus, with liberty positioned boldly at the top, "In God We Trust" at the left, and the year 1987 at the bottom. The P mint mark sits neatly above the date, marking Philadelphia as the birthplace of this piece. The coin reflects an era in U.S. mint, history where coins were struck quickly to handle mass demand, which makes crisp details on Washington's hair, facial features, and collar incredibly desirable and rare. The reverse side showcases the American bald eagle, wings spread with strength and confidence. The arrows it clutches symbolize readiness in defense, while the olive branches below them represent the lasting values of peace and unity. The inscriptions that frame the eagle, United States of America, E pluribus unum, and $quarter, were unchanged for decades, forming one of the most recognizable coin layouts in modern U.S. history. The 1987 P quarter becomes truly special when found in a remarkably high grade such as MS-68 or higher. Very few exist without the slightest mark, haze, friction rub, or luster break. Collectors hunt for brilliance, full strike, and surfaces untouched since minting conditions nearly impossible to achieve with circulating coinage. Those few survivors command remarkable respect and aggressive competition from high-end collectors. This precise combination of historical importance, nostalgic design, perfect preservation, and rarity at the highest grade has transformed the 1987 P quarter from everyday currency into a high-end collector masterpiece. One such example reached an incredible auction record of $88,200, making it one of the most desirable modern Washington quarters ever sold. Its value continues to rise because collectors now realize how few pristine examples still exist or ever will. So the lesson is simple but powerful. Coins you overlook today may become treasures tomorrow. A single flawless quarter hiding inside a drawer, jar, or forgotten box could change everything. Next up, the 1985 P Washington quarter. Dollar is one of those coins that reminds collectors that value isn't always about age or mintage. Sometimes it's about the miracle of survival. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint in 1985, this quarter belongs to a period when production for circulation coins was at its peak. Billions of coins flowed off the dies each year, designed for one purpose: everyday transaction use. Not collecting, not storing, not preserving, spending. Because of that, nearly every 1985 P quarter ever made shows signs of handling. Scratches, coin bag marks, rim dings, weak strikes, or worn surfaces. But a microscopic handful, perhaps only one or two, survived in flawless, untouched condition, making them incredibly rare and valuable. On the obverse side of the coin, George Washington's portrait, sculpted by John Flanagan, stands strong and dignified. His profile looks toward the left, with careful detailing in his hair, forehead, and coat collar. The word liberty sits above him, bold and powerful, while In God We Trust rests on the left side, almost beside his chin. The year 1985 is positioned at the bottom, and the small P mint mark from Philadelphia appears just above the date. Every letter, every detail, every curve of the portrait plays a role in determining whether this coin becomes common, pocket change, or a numismatic legend. Flip the coin over to the reverse, and the classic American bald eagle stands at the center of the design, its wings spread wide, symbolizing strength and protection. Clutched in its talons are arrows, representing readiness to defend the nation. Below sits a wreath of olive branches, symbolizing peace, a message that echoes the balance between strength and diplomacy. Surrounding the eagle are inscriptions: United States of America at the top, a pluribus unum beneath it in smaller font, and $quarter at the bottom, confirming its denomination. Most 1985 quarters struck at the Philadelphia Mint aren't rare, millions exist. But the difference lies in condition. Finding one in MS66 or MS67 grade is already challenging. Finding one with pristine luster, razor-sharp strike, flawless surfaces, and zero chatter lines on the fields pushes it into near-impossible territory. That exact combination, perfection in a world designed for circulation, turned one single 1985p quarter into a modern treasure. At auction, this unbelievable survivor sold for a jaw-dropping $145,000, shocking even the most advanced collectors and investors. It stands as proof that modern coins, when preserved perfectly, can outperform century-old rarities. Today, collectors search rolls, bags, and collections hoping to find another miracle from 1985. But so far, nothing else compares. This coin isn't just rare, it's a once-in-a-generation survivor. Next up, the 1970 Washington quarter dollar may look familiar, but its story is anything but ordinary. Minted at a time when America was changing culturally, politically, and economically, this quarter represents one of the most iconic eras of U.S. coinage. The year 1970 marked the fourth year after silver was removed from circulating quarters, meaning these coins were minted in copper-nickel clad rather than the silver alloy used before. 1965 millions were produced for everyday use, and because of this mass production, most examples available today show signs of years of reading machines, pockets, and financial circulation. But what makes the 1970 quarter extraordinary and worth an astonishing sum is the rarity in its highest grade condition. The Philadelphia Mint struck millions of them, but almost none survived untouched. Quarters from this year commonly show weak strike details, bag abrasions, flat luster, and handling marks. Only an unbelievably small handful have survived in flawless condition. Coins never touched by circulation, never tossed into a coin jar, never exposed to dust, heat, oils, or wear. The obverse proudly displays George Washington's bust, the same enduring design created by John Flanagan decades earlier. The inscriptions "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the date 1970 frame the portrait, with the P mint mark identifying its Philadelphia origin. Sharp details in Washington's hair curls, cheek definition, and clothing folds are extremely rare. And this level of sharpness is what distinguishes a high-value specimen from a regular pocket quarter. On the reverse side, the bald eagle rests proudly in the center of the design, wings spread wide, arrows gripped firmly, and olive branches beneath them, symbolizing strength balanced by peace. The inscriptions "United States of America," "E Pluribus Unum," and "Quarter Dollar" surround the eagle, completing one of the most recognizable reverse designs in American numismatic history. Collectors and grading specialists consider high-end examples from this year almost mythical. Only one known example has achieved breathtaking perfection, a coin with brilliant luster, flawless surfaces, and precise die strike quality. This single example shattered expectations when it sold for a remarkable $166,000, placing it among the most valuable modern Washington quarters ever auctioned. Its value continues to climb as collectors, historians, and investors recognize that survival of such perfection wasn't just rare, it was accidental. A quarter meant for vending, machines, and everyday commerce, suddenly transformed into a national treasure. It serves as a reminder that sometimes the most ordinary objects hide extraordinary stories. If you're ready, I can now finish the series with the final coin, the rarest, the most shocking, and the most valuable. Next up, the 1966 Washington quarter dollar holds a place in modern U.S. coinage history unlike any other. To most people, it's just another quarter, a coin that once carried the power to buy a soda, pay for a phone call, or slide perfectly into a parking meter. But to serious collectors, the 1966 quarter represents an era of dramatic transition, economic pressure, and minting challenges. And within that story exists one extremely rare, unbelievably preserved specimen that captivated the collecting world and shocked the numismatic market. This coin was struck at a time when the United States mint was undergoing one of the most significant changes in its modern history. The nation was dealing with a major coin shortage, brought on partly by rising silver value and extensive hoarding of earlier silver coins. Because of this, the U.S. Mint eliminated mint marks between 1965 and 1967, meaning the 1966 Washington quarter does not carry a mint mark, regardless of which facility produced it. This decision was made intentionally to discourage collectors from searching, hoarding and removing new coins from circulation. By 1966, silver had been completely removed from U.S. quarters. Instead of the traditional 90% silver composition used until 1964, the mint now used a layered structure, a pure copper core sandwiched between copper-nickel metal. This new clad composition changed not just the metal, but also the strike characteristics, luster behavior, and long-term durability of the coin. The obverse of the coin features George Washington's portrait, the iconic design by John Flanagan based on Jean-Antoine Houdon's historic sculpture. The word liberty arches boldly over Washington's head, reminding the nation of its founding ideals. The phrase, "In God we trust," remains positioned to the left of Washington's profile, while the year 1966 sits below the bust. Without a mint mark, this design feels clean and simple. Yet the absence is one of the most historically significant details. Flip the coin to its reverse, and you'll find the powerful American bald eagle, wings spread wide, feathers carved with pride and precision. Its talons grip a bundle of arrows symbolizing defense and readiness, while a wreath of olive branches rests beneath its feet, representing peace. Surrounding the eagle are inscriptions, United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and $quarter, completing the classic Flanagan design that defined American quarters for decades. While millions of 1966 quarters were struck, nearly all were destined for heavy circulation. They endured endless handling, scratches, metal contact, and minting inconsistencies caused by rushed production. The overwhelming majority showed dull surfaces, abrasions, weak strikes, or wear from circulation. That's why one single example, the one that stunned experts, rose above the rest. This extraordinary survivor exhibited something nearly unheard of for the 1966 issue: flawless surfaces, untouched mint luster, razor-sharp detail, and exceptional clarity. It was graded at a level so high that finding another example in similar condition remains extremely unlikely. The combination of history, grade rarity, perfect preservation, and minting complexity made it not just a coin, but a once-in-a-generation discovery. That single 1966 Washington quarter dollar sold at auction for an astonishing $1,800, cementing its status as the most valuable regular strike modern Washington quarter known to exist. Collectors still search rolls and forgotten jars hoping to find another miracle from 1966, but so far no equal has surfaced. This coin teaches a powerful truth. Sometimes the rarest treasures are hiding in plain sight, looking ordinary, but holding extraordinary value. Thanks for watching and happy collecting.